All right, guys, we got to find an open for today. Not a whole lot of great quotes in these movies. Any thoughts?
I don't know, man. Nothing really stood out.
Guys, I think there's a lot of great quotes. In Genisys, especially. I found the plot was very intricate, easy to understand, and the dialogue was very compelling.
Is that a joke, Chris?
Not at all. I actually found that Genisys especially elevates the franchise in new ways, and I especially love the performance of Jai Courtney.
Paul, can I talk to you for a second over here?
Yeah, sure.
Does Chris seem weird to you?
A little bit.
Let me try something. Hey, Chris, want to hang out after and watch Alien Resurrection? I know it's your favorite Alien movie.
I'd like that, Luke. That sounds great. I do love that movie. Hey, do either of you guys know anyone named John Connor?
Luke, your co-host is dead.
No!
Franchise.
Get in like the Marines.
Franchise.
Yeah,
Franchise.
we're in.
Franchise. Franchise the damn thing.
Welcome to Franchise Addicts, a podcast covering every film in a given franchise. My name is Luke,
And I'm an augmented super soldier from the future, also known as Chris.
and this week we're on to the fifth and sixth film in the Terminator franchise, Terminator Genisys and Terminator Dark Fate.
We're putting an end on it. This is it. And well, for now at least.
I mean, what a coda to this franchise. Two just absolutely stunning movies that have nothing to do with each other in many ways.
Yeah, unrelated.
One was supposed to be the reboot of a new 3-movie franchise. The other was, let's just put this bad boy to rest.
Yeah, just putting it down with a little bit of grace, I suppose. Some might think so. Yeah, these are two big chunks of Terminator nostalgia. Lots in your face.
Yeah, a lot of rehashing from The Terminator, and Terminator 2.
You could say. Now, here's the thing. Fan fiction. We use that term, and it's usually negative, right? It means it's poorly done. These are I'm thinking, especially watching. I'm watching these. I'm like, this is comes off like poor fan fiction. Not to jump to the conclusions here of what I think, but they have a big budget. They have stars from the previous movies. What's different? Is this fan fiction? What do you think? Even using that term, like, are all sequels done by someone else fan fiction?
I mean, we talked about this a little in the last episode where you're getting new creators in. It's kind of messing with the overall vision of the franchise. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm the new creator of this new 3-movie take on Terminator. I'm going to stamp what I think about Terminator onto this. But then when you don't get the subsequent movies because your first one is unsuccessful, then they kind of just sit out there as these singular projects that kind of add nothing. Because I can see, especially with Genisys, you're like, oh, this, like, especially the start to it, you're like, oh, this is kind of a cool take. We're rehashing some of the stuff, and then we're gonna radically move it in a kind of new direction, change up the timeline a little bit. And I think that's what you're talking about with the fan fiction. It's like when that creator is finally starting to tell their own story. Mm-hmm. But we only get the one movie in these cases, so it does just feel like an entire movie filled with like, oh, I see the take you did, but it didn't so radically go away from what had existed before that it just seems like, well, what if we just like altered the ending to Terminator 1 again?
Sure. As I'm talking through this, I'm realizing that, when we say the term fan fiction, we're probably talking about literal fans of a franchise, probably writing amateurly or as an amateur, and that's why it gets that poor. Like people do the Star Wars fan fiction, just like, I'm in my basement, I love Star Wars so much, I need to write a new chapter in the saga, and that comes off as shitty. And so I think it just speaks to like shitty stuff done by amateurs that rehash stuff in a franchise or that bring up new paths in the franchise. And this, we'll talk about Genisys. We're talking about Genisys to start. This does give me those vibes, and I think, just because it's like, it doesn't come off as it comes off as like maybe this hasn't been done by a professional.
Yeah, and when I go through who the directors and writers and other creators are on these movies, I think you're going to be surprised by the amount of like credibility, the amount of like supposed talent that they were able to get in. Like, these are not just no-name guys coming out of nowhere to make these films. They have some respectability within it. It does, in Dark Fate, you have James Cameron coming back to produce it, so it's supposed to be in good hands again. And it's not like he's just giving it off to nobodies. Like, there is some talent behind this.
You got my man Hans Zimmer at least supervising the music for Genisys, which is insane.
It does sound like Hans Zimmer music, too.
Yeah, I mean, great. It's just like, why are you involved here? But speaking of involvement, we would be remiss if we did not introduce our man, our T850. Actually, no, our Rev 9.
Rev 9.
Our Rev 9.
Our guardian.
Badass.
Our
Paul.
guardian, our Carl.
Our Carl, our Pops.
Our Pops.
Paul is with us again.
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed being here.
So, Paul, Genisys, what are you thinking? I mean, we're going to do this a little loosey-goosey. Luke, still steer the ship. But let's just, kind of go over. So, Genisys. Well, actually, yeah, Paul, immediate thoughts, and then Luke, maybe we can get into some of the setting the stage of the stats. But what do you think?
Immediate thoughts on Genisys. Felt like a reboot, like it was supposed to be. It looked good, but ultimately for me, it was convoluted. It took the story in ways that kind of contradict themselves, and was just a hot mess overall.
Yeah, it devolves into something that it probably shouldn't have. So yeah, I'll give some of the background on what's going on with this movie. Genisys came out in 2015. It is directed by Alan Taylor, who is best known for his work on Game of Thrones. Directed a lot of episodes of that. So there's a connected bit to the lead of the
Amelia
film.
Clark, who was that was popping in 2015. Game of Thrones was taking off
big time, and this was kind of her big move away from the small screen.
Well, and she's impossible not to like, right? Who doesn't like Amelia Clark?
She's great.
I think she's great in the movie, and she's very gifted actor, working with someone that she knows very well, with Alan Taylor. He also worked on Thor: The Dark World, which is
worst of the
considered
Thor
one
movies.
of the worst
The second
Marvel
one?
movies. Yeah,
I think,
that's the middle one.
Not the.
Well, I shouldn't say it's the worst one. The fourth one was the worst one.
Yes, Love and Thunder.
Oh,
That
so bad.
movie's so terrible.
Still haven't seen it.
Especially after Ragnarok.
Oh,
which is
Ragnarok
one of
was
the
the best
Marvel
one.
movies.
The most rewatchable of the Marvel movies, in my opinion.
And so here's the writer. We've got Leda Kalogridis. Definitely didn't pronounce that correct, but she worked on Shutter Island.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese movie. Now, I was like, holy cow, that's a super well-written movie. It's an adaptation of a book. So she didn't actually write Shutter Island. She adapted it.
Okay.
She also worked on Alita Battle Angel. And then Patrick Lussier is also a credited writer. He worked on the Nicolas Cage vehicle, Drive Angry.
Oh man,
Which was just a masterpiece.
I watch it every week. Yeah, it's the only way to drive.
Yeah. This movie had a budget of $160 million, and this is where we get into what happened with these two movies. Box office made over $450 million total.
Between two?
International and domestic, over $450 million. Only made $90 million domestically. So the worldwide really boosted this movie in particular.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it was so like it didn't do very well domestically that they were like, yeah, we're not making another one of these. So pulled the plug on it. That's what happened to Genisys.
PG-13 movie too. I think, which is
PG-13 movie.
interesting.
It was I think it was another one of those where they finished it all up and they're like, yeah, we could cut a couple things to make it PG-13. It doesn't take anything out of it, so just go ahead and do it.
You know, I wonder, do you think that there's a thought, I think clearly it is, to market this, repackage this a little bit? I mean, before we started rolling, we talked about like Divergent and some of those. Like, was this like, hey, let's start a franchise. Let's take the Terminator to the younger people, and maybe this will be something that's more digestible. It's PG-13. It's not like, it's not some crazy horror, totally violent thing. Like, it's more of an adventure saga with Emilia Clarke. You guys know her. You love her. We're going to go on a radical time travel, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was obviously a reboot, and was it being aimed at a younger crowd? I think you're always trying to aim stuff at but it also went for a lot of payoff moments from the past to get so it was certainly being billed back to or being made for to bring other people back, people that were already in, fans of 1 and 2 and 3, and
so many nods. I got whiplash.
Right. I just I just have not much good to say about it. So
yeah, I mean, obviously with the 2 younger leads, you are looking to set this movie up to have additional movies made after.
I think so.
I think that for the most part, I just think people weren't into the type of movie. I don't think this movie is so bad that I would be like, oh yeah, obviously they didn't make another one after this, kind of following the same similar storylines. But I think I think it fell on deaf ears is what happened to it.
Watching the first 20 minutes to 30 minutes, I was like, you know what? This is actually going to be great.
The exact same thing. I think the first 30 minutes of this, before they jump into the time machine and go to 2017, I'm like, this movie is clipping along.
100%. That's where my favorite scene comes in, is in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, when they're basically just redoing the Terminator with better graphics.
Yeah. That was great.
I'm like, this is sweet.
And the underground layer has I don't know, it had almost some not Prometheus, but it could this kind of epic dark whatever. It was kind of cool. Where they're hanging out, and then they just let's recreate stuff. Hey, you guys want a new T-1000? Here you go, T-1000 in the '84 movie. Whoa, let's do it.
So cool.
Yeah,
very very cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, watching Jai Courtney, who's playing Kyle Reese, go through the same exact thing, just slightly off. We get the drunk bum again.
Shot for shot.
He steals the pants from.
Are they shitty pants though?
I didn't notice the shit.
He didn't complain about the shitty pants as much this time.
I did watch the first 40 minutes on an iPhone, so I couldn't really
couldn't spot it.
Yeah, but I was like, "This is pretty cool." On an elliptical.
The shoes, which I can't remember what the brand. I think I called them in our original one that they were Jordans. They're not. They're a specific type of Nike shoe that no longer is produced by Nike. The set designer wanted to get those shoes again, and went to Nike and it was like, can you just make a pair of them for the movie? And they're like, nah, we'd rather have you use Air Forces and then stylize them to make them look like that. And she's like, every sneakerhead is going to look at them and be like, oh no, they built that out of Air Forces and all that sort of stuff. So Nike put a production halt to one of their factories and made them 20 of those special shoes from the 84 film.
That's crazy.
Or not, 84 film.
Yeah, wow.
And so that was kind of the coolest. That's a cool thing to be willing to make an effort to get it that realistic back to the original film. Yeah. And so that's why I think the first 30 minutes of this movie is just because it's paying homage to it super well. It's changing just enough, but keeping a lot of the other stuff consistent. It's bringing in some elements from T2 to kind of mix in with the chase in the ambulance and that sort of stuff, and then Arnold showing up as Pops, banging Kyle Reese on the head, who the hell is this guy, and having him be the protector for Sarah Connor young Sarah Connor, as opposed to the John and T-800 relationship. All very cool. And then I think I texted you guys this. I was like, man, Genisys wouldn't be that bad if there was no dialogue in this movie whatsoever. Then people start talking in this movie.
A lot of talking.
And there is a lot of explaining. There is a lot of really terrible conversations between Kyle and Sarah about their future and their past and other things that happen in other movies. And you're like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, we start to really get into it. Some of the plot gets so convoluted.
It gets crazy convoluted because they're like, do you know what's missing in a lot of these Terminator movies is way more discussions about time travel.
Way more, and convoluted ways in which someone can be a different type of Terminator that didn't exist before. I have a little snippet from Wikipedia that really just was so. This is part of the plot, so spoiler alert. John Connor suddenly appears and rescues Sarah and Kyle. Pops arrives, unexpectedly shoots John, revealing that John is now an advanced Terminator. The resistance soldier who attacked John is revealed to have been a Skynet in physical disguise as a Terminator. While Kyle was traveling back in time, Skynet attacked John and infected him with nanomachines that converted him into a cyborg on a cellular level. John, tasked with ensuring Skynet's creation, traveled back in time to assist Cyberdyne Systems with the development of Genisys, hence securing Skynet and its machines rise. Pops fights John before trapping him long enough for them to escape.
And was that when they were going into the time machine, that when that Matt Smith shows up just out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck is that, and what the fuck is happening?
Except for the fact that me watching it now in 2024, I know who Matt Smith
is.
is.
100%!
And I know that he's famous enough that when you see him in you see him like behind, like kind of standing in the crowd, and they linger on him just for a second. I'm like, what's that guy doing?
Right.
Like, that's going to be important. And then, he jumps up and, like, palms John Connor in the face. And then Jai Courtney sees that, and because he's seeing that and going through the time machine at the specific time that the future of John is getting changed.
Is that his timelines converge or something?
He
gets memories from both.
Alternate timeline of what would happen if Judgment Day was postponed, and
How do you know my mother said that thing with her hands? The straight
you
line.
gotta walk in the straight line.
It's also like this is not. No. This
And
is.
while this is all happening, and I'm loving the first 30 minutes of this movie, Luke fixes Terminator Genisys. They should have just remade the Terminator with better graphics.
They should have. That would have been.
Actors,
That would have been
graphics.
it. That would be the reboot that I wanted. They would have gotten the other movies. That would have brought a younger generation in. It would have satisfied us the older generation, and we could have made a couple more movies.
Yeah, you can keep the whole Pops thing as the protector for Sarah Connor, so that you're getting a little T2 influence, but basically you're just doing the Terminator plot again, this time with a T-1000, and Sarah Connor being the one to protect.
You do a mashup of 1 and 2.
Yeah, sometimes less is more, and that would have been the less is more.
But no, they're like, John Connor has to be evil and come back and
so many
into
things.
the past because the future has now been changed.
Also, Genisys is Skynet.
Remember that, though. Remember.
You have to
Remember.
I love what you just read on because that perfectly summarizes it. Like, what the fuck did you just read?
Yeah, like,
and
what?
exactly what the fuck happened in this movie?
Like, he's here, and now he's bad. Oh, he's bad. Well, he was bad because he was touched. And like, what the fuck?
Where was he touched? On
like,
this doll.
Yeah. It's where it started. Kyle
Is Jason Clarke good in this movie?
no.
I have seen him in a number of other things. He's a fine actor. What the hell is he doing in this?
I mean, I feel like is it just his?
It's so wooden. Like, it's almost like he looked at Jai Courtney acting and was like, I'm gonna match that.
I'm gonna match that.
Match that energy.
I feel that's the vibe. That's what's happening here. I don't know. I mean, the writing is. You have to take.
There's that first scene between John and Kyle, like before he gets sent back, that's so terrible. Where
nice cold beer.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Because I have been alive in this whole thing. I've never really been normal, but the right. I mean, that's the writing, I think.
I feel like we've had the same discussion about the acting in these movies, going along. It's like they research some of the older movies and get an idea of, they think that this is how they have to act, and it turns out being real wooden, real one note.
Just really shitty writing. What are you gonna
And
do?
that was
after,
shitty writing.
What are you gonna do after this war is over? I don't know. Really, nice cold beer sounds nice.
It was so bad.
Like what? That's
so terrible.
That's just America.
I mean, it's just like I'm watching it with Mary on the couch, and it just, you look at each other like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it sucks. So yeah, no, but I feel like they're playing to the material. This is what the script called for it.
Yeah.
As
But then
Crashmore would
everything
say.
between Emilia Clarke and Schwarzenegger is kind of good. Like it eventually gets cheesier and cheesier, like as the movie goes on. But like their kind of relationship when they first pick up Kyle and that sort of stuff, and like Kyle's like, this guy's a T-800, like he's obviously bad, and he like keeps wanting to prove that over and over again. And she's like, no, this guy's my dad, basically. I bought their relationship.
Yeah. I guess, that was able to be pulled off. I mean, she's good. Not to say, oh my gosh, Jason Clarke is horrible, but his character didn't have any real...
No, there is one particular good actor that is horrible in this movie.
Who's
J.K.
that?
Simmons?
J.K. Simmons.
I love him.
He's so bad in this movie. Well, and it's not even his fault. The writing for his character is
Fair.
terrible.
Yeah, it's like, why is he even here?
Well, he's our boy
Silverman. But he's
in
not
a different
Silverman.
character.
Yep.
But I was like, bring back
But
Silverman.
he's in a more convoluted, like he was the police officer in 1984, but he's not one of the named characters from the 84 one. He's just some guy
dude?
that's like, I've been researching this ever
30
since.
years.
It's just...
Give me a reason. We're here to save the future. That's good enough for me.
Good enough.
Just make him some version of Silverman.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Again, remake one.
Yeah, just that sucks. So the plot's convoluted. I thought that her calling Arnold Pops sucked.
I didn't mind that at all.
I don't mind that relationship at all.
It's
I think
fine.
It's like one of the few good parts of the movie.
It's not bad. Like she does it well, and Arnold's fine. Although when they have like the contest to see who can load the guns quicker.
That's great. Love it.
Old, but not obsolete.
He says it like 4 times in the movie. That's his favorite line.
Oh, horrible. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's that. What else do I have to say? What else?
Well,
what else is there to
a couple
say?
of the things going on with Pops, because Pops is my guy. So he gets introduced back in the 84 timeline. He's the guy that sends them into the future. He can't go because some of his metal is showing, and it's like putting metal in a microwave. So he's got to chill and basically live his life until 2017 so that his skin can grow back, and that's when he makes the gigantic base near the Golden Gate Bridge. Mm-hmm. And thinks it's the safest place in the world, but it's also the first place that John Connor goes to.
Yeah, no problem finding out. And it's not isolated at all. There's a ton of people outside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, not the best.
It's like a tourist attraction.
100%.
His programming did not
Guys,
have good base.
They'll
building
never
skills.
know. I built it in the Golden Gate Bridge. No
Programming-
one is ever around this
Programming
place.
also didn't take into effect the traffic. So,
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about filming around the Golden Gate Bridge, you're not allowed to. So it's all digitally done somewhere else, so that's why it looks so shitty.
Yeah, there's too much shitty CG in this.
Well, it's because they couldn't shoot anywhere that this film is supposed to be. They weren't shooting in LA, really. They were shooting in, I think, New Orleans, because LA looked too new. So when they were shooting the 84 stuff, they had to go to a shittier part of the United States that still looked like it was in 1984, so they chose Louisiana.
Fair enough.
And so all this stuff is shot sound stages, places that aren't the location that it actually is, and that comes into effect. Like most of the movies that you love are because they are shot on location in the place that they're portraying. It just brings you into the movie a lot easier than when you can tell stuff is just fake.
The cyborgs also were CG, or the machines, right? Yeah, like, yeah, at least I thought so. As opposed to, we're talking about Salvation, right? And there's that opening scene. Well, those are CG too.
No, they aren't.
Okay, well,
Stan Winston built those.
So, and those you can tell because those looked cool. And I was like, okay,
I believe that a lot of them were still. So Stan Winston died during Salvation. It was the last Terminator movie that he worked on. His company that he left is still doing the models for Genisys and for Dark Fate. So I believe at least a couple of the shots or whatever are actual practical machines. I'm sure the duplicates that they're making in the backgrounds of scenes are
okay.
computer-generated.
There was times where maybe my eyes deceived me, but I was like, this doesn't even look like it's really there.
Sure.
As far as some of those machines that are fighting. So I was not blown away by the effects. Do we have I'm sure we have a truck chase. Do we have a truck chase?
Well, we have the scene in 84 where they're in the ambulance, or not. It's not an ambulance. It's a big truck thing with a back to it,
like a
because
paddy
that's where they
wagon.
throw Kyle basically, and then the T-1000 is chasing after him.
Okay.
And they essentially, because they were able to plan for this, are luring the T-1000 to this kind of bunker area with the acid in order to take it down, like the kill zone.
The kills.
This
The
comes,
kill room.
Yeah, this comes back in Dark Fate.
Yes, there's a kill zone in Dark Fate.
Because it is kind of funny that because they have to convolute the time lines and all that sort of stuff, they've just given the people that have been around more omniscience. So they're like, well, obviously to kill Terminator, since I've killed so many now, by the time you get to me in this movie, they're like, we know exactly how you kind of got to do it. You got to know where they're coming in. You got to lure them to these areas where the only thing that can kill them happens to be there.
Right, yeah.
Kind of the stuff we were joking about with the first two movies, where it's like, of course
Of course
movie
it's going to
has
end here.
End at
a factory.
a crazy plant that has molten metal.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this by that time. The effects didn't really do it for me, and then to that point too. I mean, I watched Genisys first. I know that there are some action chase scenes, sure, but nothing really stood out to me. Because I feel like a hallmark of the Terminator, of a Terminator film, I won't even say it's good, is that you got to have a semi truck chase.
Well, at one point they're on a bus, right, and they're hanging off the edge of
the
the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
There's lots of chase scenes.
It just. Yeah, none of them.
These movies are not at want for chase scenes.
It didn't have me on the edge of my seat or anything like others had.
Well, so what happens with these movies is these are like the first truly modern, like what we know now as modern action films that have just been diluted because you can make things a lot cheaper. You can use CGI to cover a lot of holes. You don't have to do things practically. And so you're not like, even in Terminator 3, where you're like, man, Arnold's pitching in X millions of dollars so that we can really get that one huge chase scene like as cool as possible. But that's our big money, is that one 15-minute stretch. We're putting it all into that. Whereas modern movies can be like, we can have 7 of those for that same price.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens in Genisys and Dark Fate, is they're like, why have one huge one that, people will leave remembering? Let's just have it constantly throughout the movie, and you kind of come numb to it, where you're like, oh, they're just doing this again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's to the detriment. You have so much of it. It's to the detriment of the movie. Before, like you said, you had one big one, or maybe one big one, two, one smaller one, but they're ones that you remember, that you talk about.
The downfall of excess. Right?
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing is.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I got so much stuff to watch on streaming, I got nothing to watch.
There you go.
I was going to say that, especially Genisys, to me, the way it was written, the kind of timeline stuff that it's following, this felt very much like a Marvel movie to me. Like a lower rate B-level Marvel movie, where you're like, hey, we're gonna have this thing. It's gonna feel familiar at the start so that you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, I get to see this thing that used to be in comic books that I read come back to life, and we're getting kind of the origin story of it again. And then they're like, well, we got to change the story a little bit here and there. We'll add some convolution. We'll have this big action set piece at the end. The thing that gets criticized in a lot of, especially the newer modern Marvel movies, is the third act is always the same thing. It's always like a, world-ending thing that the person has to stand up to, and we get this big CGI battle. And that's what happens in Genisys, is there's just gigantic CGI battle at the end of it. But it is very much like our Marvel hero story introduction.
And we got time travel.
Yeah. With time travel.
They're like, it's working for Marvel. Let's dip our toes in Terminator has, hey, you guys like time travel? Terminator has time travel.
And like upgrading Pops at the end from the T8 to the T1000.
T1000, yeah.
Liquid metal. Mm-hmm. Do you not remember that?
No,
part?
what?
He gets splashed by the mimetic polyalloy and he morphs into the T1000, and he's got the
Yeah, because John and Sarah have like finally escaped. They put or did I say John? Kyle and Sarah.
Yeah.
Because John and Pops are fighting, and they're then in the non-finished version of the time machine that's just spinning them around and is going to basically kill the John Connor as Skynet thingy. And Pops gets infected, quote unquote, with the polyalloy. And then he comes breaking through the door because Kyle and Sarah think they're going to die of suffocation or whatever. And then a T-1000 arm comes through the door and they're like, oh no! And then it's Pops.
Oh, sure. I might have been looking at my phone by that point.
They're setting up the next movie that Pops is going to have more powers.
Pops is going to have more powers.
The problem with these movies is
much.
The bad guys always have even crazier things that they're able to do, and it's still the T-800 that's fighting them.
He's like, I need to upgrade a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Even in Dark Fate with the...
Rev 9?
No, but I'm saying with the human altered...
The augmented
from the
future.
Like, it's not like she has crazy powers.
Well, and her powers only work for a short amount of time,
and then
gotta have those benzos.
Runs out of
gotta get them drugs.
But like every movie is like, how much crazier can we make the bad guy and still have the T-800 beat it?
But to take that back to what you were talking about with the Marvel third acts, it's the exact same thing always, right? Like it's your hero is just slightly outmatched usually, but your hero finds a way.
Find some boost or upgrade that they didn't realize they could get,
100%.
and then they morph into it. It's like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they just get their butt kicked and then they realize that they can put the machine of their things together and then robot.
Classic. Punch. I mean, we see that all over. I mean, even, Batman.
Speaking of Batman, we'll get into the writer of the movie Dark Fate.
Well, some of the villains are much stronger than the Bat.
All right, yeah. So that's Genisys. We'll still talk about Genisys some more, but let's introduce Dark Fate. The second movie that we are covering here. So Dark Fate, the final Terminator movie so far. 2019. Director Tim Miller, who is most famous for
Deadpool.
And this writer, David S. Goyer, who has writing credits on all of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar from that.
Yes. This guy was Christopher Nolan influence, helped him with every single one of those scripts.
Hell yeah,
so
man.
Obviously the script of this movie is just
rock solid.
Perfect. And then a man named Billy Ray did a lot of rewriting on this movie after Goyer had taken his run at Hunger Games and Captain Phillips. No, it's not Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh.
He's not achy breaking his heart.
Achy breaking the script?
He might be. Now, this is where the true downfall of Terminator gets put into focus.
Sure.
Budget $190 million. But this is one of the few ones where this caveat comes in. With marketing, closer to $275 to $300 million poured into this movie. Box office, $62 million domestic. oh, but we'll get a huge worldwide, just like we have for every other
Well, yeah, I mean,
Terminator
it
movie.
takes place in Mexico. This is
Only 200 million international, so 262 million did not even make back after marketing what they put in.
So is this the first one then that technically lost money?
Yes.
Or that we know of at least, because
Yeah.
we didn't have
I'm sure,
marketing.
like-
we didn't have marketing figures on some of them.
I'm sure at the end of the day they find a way to kind of break even with this shit, but
Yeah.
like, yes, just straight up numbers. This is the first one.
And do you think that they got all that marketing money? Is this because James Cameron came back in to produce, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They brought so what happened with the rights for this movie is that, or this franchise basically, is that James Cameron had sold the rights for $1 to that female producer that we had talked about earlier. He happened to also be married to her, so in the divorce, she has control over it. The rights to it bounced around through different production and distribution companies that like either were successful or not successful enough, so that it just kept on changing hands over and over again. The reason why they made Genisys when they were going to make it and kind of rushed it into production was that James Cameron was getting the rights to the Terminator franchise back in 2019. So then he would be in full control of what Terminator movies could get made. In 2015, when Genisys gets made, they're like, we got to make as many of these as possible
Pump 'em
for
out.
the company that currently holds it. So let's just try and milk this. They didn't make enough money on the first one, so they're like, whatever, just let Cameron have it. And then Cameron gets it back in 2019 and is obviously like, let's make some money off of this. So he produces, he doesn't want to direct it, but thinks he's putting it in decent hands. Tim Miller, coming off a successful movie with Deadpool, kind of came out of nowhere. And then getting Goyer, who's a pretty big writer.
yeah.
And then throwing a ton of money into it, and it just did not work.
Well,
Bringing back Linda Hamilton,
yeah.
bringing back Arnold.
You got all the bands back together.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell you something.
Don't say it.
I like this movie.
This movie sucks.
I
Of course you do. Of course you like this movie. This is the wokest bullshit.
It's not even
awful nonsense. Just convoluted.
What's the immigration
You
stuff?
like female Ghostbusters. Of course you like this movie.
Hell
this
yes.
movie is the female Ghostbusters of Terminator. This movie sucks.
Oh my God.
It is so heavy-handed. It has
my God.
no reason
Let's go.
to be telling the story that it is telling other than to just be like, watch us do this, but with female empowerment.
Okay,
Yeah.
but can we say something? Can I take a step back? James Cameron, Terminator movies are, and the James Cameron movies, female empowerment is a big theme. It's a big part. I mean, you could say there's machines, there's little John Connor, but Linda Hamilton, strong ass female character. That's the whole point.
yeah, it's a big-
though. She's not though, because in this movie they change all of the stuff that Cameron's like, oh yeah, so I was trying to do this whole female empowerment thing, but it still turns out that women didn't like this part of it. They didn't like this part of it. They didn't like that John Connor was a boy and eventually becomes the leader. They didn't like the fact that Linda Hamilton was just a mom.
Yeah, I agree with you in that one. In that one, where it's yes, it was always a strong female lead, or we wanted that. But in this one, you're It's not. It's like that. It wasn't good enough. It was you kind of did that, but this is what we're gonna. And they slap you with it.
It's
you know.
so heavy-handed.
Okay, I
if
get
it
it.
wasn't so obvious what they're doing, I think I could get on your level and be like, "This is pretty good."
You know,
but it is so obvious.
I don't. I ignore that. Like right in the beginning, I texted you about the beginning being like, I started watching Dark Fate and I was like, this is gonna be a rough one, because what do? You go into Mexico and you have the people in the factory and they're like, our jobs are being replaced by machines.
Oh my God.
I did not like that. That was horrible. Okay, totally. Like over the top, stupid. Yes, I get it. And. This is what I'm gonna say, that despite that stuff, I found it to be a fun Terminator movie. I am saying that. Like, That's what I think. I despite that, it didn't bother me that much. I think what's her name?
Mackenzie Davis.
Love her.
Yeah, she
fucking
did a
awesome.
great job.
And she's brought in. She's a new face. Awesome. I love that. You got Linda Hamilton. She's just doing her thing. She's fine. She's doing Linda Hamilton things. Also, hey, good to see her back in the franchise. Arnold's doing the same thing, except we don't get.
Well, he's changing diapers too, though.
We get, for some reason, and maybe this is just how I was when I was watching it, I found the humor to be less cringy. Some parts, but like it wasn't in your face. Like, look, there's gonna just be these. There's gonna be the Arnold jokes were still there. They were still there, but it wasn't as the tone of the movie wasn't like this is maybe a comedy sometimes. The tone was consistent with like this is, and you could say, is it self-serious? Is it preaching? Yeah. Maybe you can make that, but like the tone was consistent as opposed to when it starts to get into like real like fucking almost slapstick humor when they're doing the gun building and then Arnold's smiling and it's like fuck that. That took me out of that Genisys. But this one, I don't know, man. Like
You don't know, man.
I do know, man.
This is a disaster.
No. The action towards the end, man. There's the plane fight. You get a fight on a goddamn plane. Let's parachute the fucking Humvee over the goddamn Niagara Falls. Like, whoa! It's an action non-stop fucking ride, baby. Whoa! I'm fucking watching the television. I audibly go, whoa! That's what I do. I go, whoa! I have a fun time with this. Now, I don't think I don't know. I'm just showing my colors, man. I'm showing them. I don't think it's like some great thing. I can obviously understand where it's, where it goes, where you can. I understand your points, but let's go into it. Let's go. But that's it. So there's my.
I'm going to throw the caveat out there.
Sure.
Any of the, especially female listeners out there, I understand that I have sounded so far like.
I love female empowerment. I'm sorry. Is that a problem?
Misogynist. I will flip this on you in that this is like the most disrespectful way to introduce like female empowerment into a movie when it is just so goddamn obvious that this is what they're trying to do and it's so heavy-handed. You can do this in any other way. Just make the movie and take like 50% of the dialogue out that is like hitting you over the goddamn head that like this is what we're doing in this movie because the last movies were bad. They were bad at doing this part.
So Natalia Reyes is Danny.
Horrible.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Most of the time, she's not doing anything. Now, at the end...
Yeah, she's supposed to be the future leader of the world, and she can't do jack shit. Now, I understand that John Connor in T2 doesn't really do all that much, but he's at least, like, kind of doing some stuff.
Yeah, she was very much the Nick Stahl of this movie, right?
Yeah, I don't think that...
They try to do the stuff where, like, she's interceding for her brother and, like... I'll go to the manager and get your job back. Like, she's kind of a leader. Yeah. But they didn't do enough of it.
I can throw that character away.
And I know. You can't.
Well,
she's the most important character.
Not just her womb. You can throw her womb away, though. You can't throw her away.
They want you for your womb.
Well, she could be sterile for all that matters. She's the one that's changing the world.
But, I mean, for most of the movie, she's riding along.
Yes.
And I'm more interested... in the action between Mackenzie Davis and the Rev 9, who's fine. I mean,
he's OP, man. He's way too powerful.
It's cool.
There's no way they should have beat this guy. This guy is unbelievable.
Yes.
I mean, he can separate himself into
crazy.
the. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's movie magic, baby. Okay, but then you get the opening. Within the first 20 minutes, you have a pretty sweet truck chase. Okay, like yes, yeah. That's when what?
Okay, yeah.
Is that when you see him leave his? That's the first time you see him leave his body.
Yeah, and he's got
through the windshield.
Yeah, he goes through
and
the
he's still
fucking
driving the thing, but he's also
throwing spikes at it and shit.
No,
and
Mackenzie Davis is throwing spikes at him.
Yeah.
Mackenzie she. I mean, I'm gonna say whatever. I don't give a fuck. This is a different episode. She's my MVP because she. Whatever. I don't care.
She's mine too. She's the best part of the movie.
But she's very important. She's a central figure to the movie, and she makes it work for me because she's like, oh, this is someone that's like in this role. I believe it. I like it. And then the other stuff is kind of. It's around her, but she can anchor it. She can lead it.
So perfect. So she's a strong female lead that
Yes.
we need. We didn't need the Danny stuff.
100%. That's
other
fine.
than to tie, to give to tie movies together.
Here's the thing, guys. So I equated Genisys to a Marvel movie. This movie, Dark Fate, you know what it is? It's Force Awakens. This movie is Force Awakens. I like Force Awakens. I think Force Awakens is great.
I'm okay with it.
Force Awakens is also not nearly as heavy-handed as this movie is on what
Agreed.
it's doing, and kind of just lets it happen a lot more while retelling basically A New Hope, the same story. It's bringing back Harrison Ford as the old school but still cool guy, tough guy. Linda Hamilton's kind of filling that role in this movie. She gets to say all the badass lines. She gets to be the one with all the moxie and the experience and all that sort of stuff. She's just not good at it. Like, I don't believe that she's actually this hardened, tough, older person in a lot of the scenes. A lot of the dialogue, because it is so poorly written, just falls flat immediately after she says it. And you're like, God, this is just stupid. Say anything else. Just don't redo.
If you're gonna put your phone in a potato chip bag, keep it in a potato chip bag.
Yeah. Like even
I was charmed by that. This took me over. I'm sorry.
I almost died when they were doing the show them how to shoot, and the Terminator, the robots are basically like being super exact, make sure your hips pointed, make sure you're like breathing out, and then Linda Hamilton just comes over and is like, imagine they just took your child.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then she blows it away. And I'm God damn it.
And
This is so
scene.
fucking stupid.
No. That is okay. This is what I'm gonna say. I was charmed.
You were not.
I was charmed to overlook the things that were stupid. Maybe, you know what? I mean, I watched a couple of these movies in a row that were just not satisfying to me, right? Like,
I think that's what's happening here.
Salvation, even T3 had moments, but I don't know. T3 had moments, but then the Genisys was kind of a slog fest, exhausting for me, and so I don't know. It was a Friday night. I had a really long work week this past week, and it was like I was like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna take a little me time, and I don't know, I found it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun time, and Mackenzie Davis just kind of anchored it and made me be like, oh no, I'll go along with this, because she made it seem she brought a level of legitimacy to it for me.
Well, and you make a good point there too, though, that depending on where we're at when we're watching a movie can influence how we think about that movie.
Yes.
But this movie in particular was made in 2019, right? And 2019, what was happening politically and socially really affected what was in this movie.
You think? Yeah.
100%.
The border crossing, the detention center,
Hell yeah.
the fact
Come
that
on.
the T-1000 turns
A
into
bunch of
border
Mexicans on the
agent.
top of a train. You got coyotes. You got
There's a Danny Ramos or whatever. Danny Ramos is trying to illegally enter the United States, and a border agent is doing whatever it takes
100%.
to get her back in the detention center.
No, I'm not going to argue
Also,
with any of that.
Legion is essentially the United States.
Right. Again, heavy-handed. Like none of this is not overt.
No, and I'm not going to argue with any of that. But
I agree with you. I didn't think it was terrible. And what I'm saying though is that I think you have a really good point in this. That depending on where we're at, even in within a week, where we're at mentally when we're watching a movie, what's going on, where we're at, can really affect our perception of whether we like a movie, what we like, what we can ignore about what we can ignore about it.
Yes.
And only see some of the good stuff, right?
It's interesting too because like when I started I watched the first this is interesting. The first 20 30 minutes I watched right after, like basically I was done working, I started it. And I was kind of still a little. I started this new job, whatever. It's a lot. It's just there's a lot going on. I didn't actually at the beginning. I was like, this sucks, or like that was kind of my attitude. And then I took a little time, blah blah blah, had some food, and kind of like, and then I was just kind of ready to just be enjoy it a little more. And I just did because I was just that was the place I was at. So Paul, to your point. I think I was just like, I would like to see some fun action sequences with at least one actor that seems like legit, and I like her, and so
I like her too.
and then like the rest of everybody like they're fine, and Gabriel Luna doing the kind of the old West voice, he turns that on, that like whatever, that was nice, and. Arnold, I mean, they were just there, and Arnold has a son, Mateo, and he's got a wife, but it's not physical.
It can't be physical. He's too heavy.
Our relationship is not physical.
It's
She
not
appreciated I could change diapers
Efficiently.
and without complaining.
So again,
I'm reliable, a very good listener, and I'm extremely
so hey,
funny.
if we want to talk about political, extremely funny,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he says at the
So-
end. That's the hammer on the joke.
it is.
Exactly.
So this is the second time that the Terminator franchise has brought forward the point to us that the best father figure, the best male, is essentially just a machine that just does the shit that they're supposed to do.
Yeah, you are there to be in service of your wife.
Yeah.
That's a male position.
Role reversal.
No, that's the way it always should have been, Chris. Obviously.
But so that is interesting. And so, but you do make a great point about all that. And I was, and can I obviously realize that and recognize all that political
So again,
overtones?
I'm going to reiterate my point.
Yeah.
All of that stuff being in the movie is fine. You just don't need to put a strobe light or blinking lights around it and go like, this is what we're saying, this is what we're saying, this is what we're
But-
saying. It's like, great, just write the movie.
You know who was involved with it though? James Cameron, and he loves to do that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, wouldn't you say Avatar does that?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes, like that's, and I hate that.
Do you think that I mean, I don't know how to say this without sounding like arrogant, but are we watching these? Are we smarter than the average person watching? Do people need to be bashed over the head?
I mean,
so that they see what the director or wants us to see? Like,
Well, they might be, because I was telling you this, Paul.
Clearly, we're very, very.
clearly we're advanced.
I mean, everyone listening, they know that. That's where they're listening.
I don't know how true this is, but I read this on the trivia for Dark Fate, that when people started talking about the border crossing and stuff as being heavy-handed, people on the production team and the writers were like, whoa, we did not write it to reflect the times and all that sort. We're not making a statement about any of that. We just thought it would be cool that, obviously, since it was set in Mexico, that they have to cross the border at some time.
yeah, no.
And they're like, we did not mean that at all. And it's like, then why in your movie does it seem so obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I am, and I'm just like,
You are Joe America,
I'm
Joe the
Joe
plumber,
America.
man.
Dear Tay.
Joe Dirte.
I'm Joe the plumber. I'm enjoying it. I'm just like, this is a cool setting. What? It was in the Texas, Mexico.
Last week you were trying to figure out what Biden called Joe.
Yeah, Joe
And
the plumber.
While I was doing the editing, I'm like, it's Joe the plumber.
Joe the plumber.
God damn it.
Joe the
Joe the plumber.
Now listen, wait a second. Also, by the way,
Mr. President, we need you to wake up. Wake up.
Did you guys see Mitch McConnell this week showing up to his thing with a big bandage on his head?
Didn't Pelosi just fall?
Oh yeah, these people. I mean, these people.
These guys are
Come on,
they're getting old.
burning.
get some new people in there, guys. What are we doing?
That's what they gotta wait till they die. That's it.
Oh my lord.
Imagine if there was a Terminator in there. Ooh,
Well,
that's
I think
goals.
there's a shape-shifting lizard people.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So yeah, I mean but it's good, and I think this has brought up a good conversation because there's clearly two ways to look at this coin. as which you can say with so many movies, especially these action franchise things. We can look at all the things and be like, yeah, that's clearly over the top. That's clearly silly. Here's the thing. I watched the first Avatar when it came out. Hated it. Was like, this is so preachy. This sucks. Why does everyone like this? This is the worst, right? I'm a slightly pretentious, whatever, time of my life. Not that I'm totally out of that by any means at all. But then Avatar 2 comes out, and my kids love the first Avatar. And I'm like, I guess I'll take you to this. We'll see it in the 3D because I know the visuals are good or whatever. I fucking loved it. And I don't know, it was just like at the right place at the right time, and I was just like, actually, this is pretty fucking good, you guys. And I know that like there's the other part of me would be like, oh my god, like that's Chris, what are you doing, man? But the duality of man is what it all comes down to.
I don't know if I want to do this show anymore.
It's been good.
It broke my heart.
And real.
Whatever.
I treated you like a son, and you fucking stabbed me in the heart.
I had some fun, man. I mean, so did you not like the plane fight at all? What do you think?
What did I think was the coolest part of Dark Fate?
Yeah.
I kind of like the part where, like, all the other border agents were, like, descending on the Rev 9 or whatever it is. And he's, like, stabbing all over the
dude,
place.
that was the best, though, when he's, like, walking just down in between the cages, And
But they cut from it at, like, the coolest part.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to see him get mangled.
And when
there was no shortage of, I mean, they had some good blood and stuff in this one.
Carnage.
We're back to rated R.
Yeah,
so
like that about it. I do like that about it.
Yeah.
Some of the it's just you're having some fun when they're trying to kill the Rev 9 and they unhinge the jaw and all that. Like it looks kind of scary. I don't know. It was cheap thrills, yes, but again, when we're talking about Terminator movies, a lot of times we're talking about cheap thrills unless we're talking about one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe one and a half.
Again, Chris, going back to it matters when you see it, what state of mind you're in while you're watching it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
While I was watching all the new technological advances that this movie is able to do, the de-aging in the opening scene where we see John Connor get shot looks pretty dang good.
Damn good.
Yeah.
Like you could have fooled me if I didn't, wasn't looking for it basically. And, like you said, a lot of the action set pieces in this are technically pretty well done. It all looks fine and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm watching and I'm like, can we just go back to T2 where I can tell where the stunt guys come in?
Hell yeah.
Like, for some reason,
Give me that.
I was like, the quick cutting away from guys so you don't really have to use stuntmen that much because you can kind of mask things over with CGI, and Arnold can do a little bit more of his stuff, but it looks slow because he's old, but you don't lose the continuity that's happening in 2019. I had some nostalgia for the T2 where you're like, well, obviously that's someone fake, but it's still kind of like it just moves better and it looks a little bit better even though there's that glaring thing that you can pause the screen and look at.
Well, it's a reminder of the fact that like we're really doing this.
Yeah, and again, if you want to get even nerdier, like T2 shot on film because it is a physical medium, just has a texture that human eyes like looking at when it's projected onto a screen. Whereas 2019, you're shooting digitally most of the time. Digital just looks fake. It just will always look fake to human eyes. Things shot in digital just will never have the same feel.
Dark Fate ran into this even like the first time. What's her name? Grace is introduced. There's video game like qualities. Like they make her eyes more blue, and it's just like. Okay, like fine, but like I don't want to watch a video game.
So that you kind of lose, and this is my issue with these two movies a lot is that in all this cool new and yes, it looks better and you can do better things digitally and CGI, you lose a ton of what made T1 and T2 awesome fucking movies, right?
Yeah, and you're always going to get because again they seem like, or they have to be new movies, but they get to put the Terminator stamp on it. So you get the title, you get this is Terminator : whatever. And so you're going in with the idea of the past movies. If these movies were just called Genisys and were about something that was non-Terminator related, but basically the same story, no one would give a shit about these movies.
No.
Correct.
It just would not matter. They would be lost to the sands of time. But because they get the Terminator franchise label, we're talking about them, people saw them, at least enough people, especially worldwide, and they kind of have to stand for something, and they just miss it because we want that old nostalgia.
Yeah, it's The Force Awakens.
But people like that movie. That's the problem. Is that movie's good.
I think some people
Movie's
like
good until Luke at the end.
Some people
Yeah.
like this movie too. Do we want to talk about Rotten Tomatoes, my friend?
Sure.
I didn't look at any of this stuff, so go ahead.
So
I was so
Reception.
offended by this movie that I was like, I'm not reading any more about what went into this.
well,
I also vote Democrat, guys. Let's just this is I'm
not according to your Dark Fate take.
I'm turning against my own people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, build the wall. Jeez. So
Legion, not so bad. All right.
make Legion great again. So where am I at? Like, Genisys is like 20%. It's
Yeah.
really mad, and then Dark Fate 70%.
Is that audience or
No, the tomato meter.
critics or audience though?
Critics. Are
Critics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
obviously.
the popcorn meter is
Liberal
critics.
media.
So yeah, they were
Fake
like,
news.
yeah, they were like, I love it. This is
Yes,
what we all
queen,
need to.
Yes. Well,
It was so. That's it. That's the reaction. But I mean, so you get 70 on this one. So but obviously, I mean, the box office will speak to some of this. Although okay, this came out in like November of 2019.
yeah, it's the first non-summer release Terminator movie.
Non-summer release. I do remember seeing, like, I remember when this came out. I did not see it in the theaters. I didn't see Genisys in the theaters either. This is the first time seeing both of these. Is that the same for you guys? Or, like-
I had seen Dark Fate. I think some of it looked familiar, but
Yeah, same thing with me. I think there are bits and pieces of Dark Fate I had definitely seen before. Genisys was the first time.
I was gonna try and blame the pandemic for some of but no, I feel like this came and went by March of 2020. It did.
Yeah, it was just...
So,
Nobody noticed.
it just, yeah. And I mean, we're in 2019, whatever. So, I was going in expecting to be like, this is going to be really bad. And I ended up having a decent amount of fun. But, I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, I'm so happy for you, Chris, that you got something out of this movie.
I got a
That's
nice little
fantastic.
cap. I got a little. I feel like I'm like even when he dies at the end for John. I was like, God damn, Arnold, you did it, you bastard.
When it has the exact same ending as Genisys,
God, I blacked out at the end of Genisys.
it has basically the same ending as Genisys.
Wait,
only
how's
in
this one
Dark-
end? He's stuck in the turbine or
Yeah.
the
Once again, the old T-800 sacrifices himself into the eventual machine thing that is able to kill the T-1000 or the or F8 or whatever the fuck
Rev
it is in
9.
Dark Fate. And the only difference is that in Dark Fate, the T-800's gone. In Genisys, it gets upgraded.
Yeah.
Because in one movie, they knew they were only making one, Dark Fate, and Genisys, they thought they were making 3 more. So
Yeah.
they got to bring him back.
So you
Dark
can-
Fate turned into, like, let's just give the sign off to all the people that we love from these movies.
Yeah, let's ride out into the sunset. And
And what a great way to do it. I mean, we
Spreading a
felt
good social message.
so together at the end of this. I do want to ask, do you think that Grace and Danny were more than friends?
Danny is.
Well, it would certainly go with the messaging of the
Danny
movie.
is the leader of the free world. That is the girl that they are protecting. That
Oh,
Grace gets sent back
yeah.
in time to protect.
Well, this going.
Danny also then saves a younger Grace. I think they're relatively similar in age. From an actress age standpoint,
Who's Danny?
Natalie Reyes is actually older than Mackenzie Davis.
Okay.
Fun fact there. But, you know, much like John has to send his key guy with Kyle back, Grace is like Danny's number one woman. But were they more than number one women?
I mean, let your fantasy do what you want with that.
I think there is an extremely overt love connection.
Do you?
At the end of
So there's one part of the movie that was not hitting you over the head. It was just sort of left there to linger.
it lingered, like, because at the end of the movie, Danny like peels off in the Jeep and is like, "I'm not gonna let her die for me again."
Oh yeah. But, you know, sure. But we also see, sure, fine. I don't know, like maybe. It's.
I don't think John was ever like, "I can't send Kyle back."
I'll send Kyle back as much as I
Yeah,
fucking
he's
want.
like, "We're
As long
just
as I
gonna
get that
keep
cold
doing
beer afterwards, I don't give a fuck. Fuck Kyle, dumbass.
Whereas Paul, you were talking about this in T3, the difference between having a female Terminator storylines, female just have different reactions for these types of things.
Right.
Whereas like men, you can do more of the cold-hearted, like, you know, Kyle Reese did his job, and unfortunately he passed away, but he did exactly what he needed to do. And this one, it's like, I will do anything I can to not have to have Grace make that sacrifice for me as we continue to do this over and over again through time. And they also love each other in a physically intimate way that is not shown on screen.
Hell yeah.
It's the apocalypse, baby. You gotta go to whatever is warm and you can cuddle up next to.
Yeah, that's right. As long as it's got a heartbeat.
Yep.
All right, so
I thought that would get a way better reaction out of you guys than I thought.
Oh.
I mean, I think
they were lovers.
sure. Yeah.
Not that I support it. I'm an ally, but I just make it more overt if you want to do that, or make it less overt. The way that it was left is just kind of silly.
I mean, I honestly, so I didn't actually think that. Was I like really trying to pry and think about that type of thing? No, I was just like, oh, they really care about each other. I don't know. And then I just like kind of left it. But sure. I mean, you know, and I mean, if we are going with, you know, some more liberal themes, we would say that checks out, right?
Well, I mean, because Danny it doesn't matter if she has kids or not. She's the leader. So she can decide not to, you know, continue on her legacy through biological means.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
It's a very convoluted way of saying having children. I think we've lost our co-host.
This is the beauty of It's the beauty of language. I can try to say things without actually saying them by using big
Such
fancy
a
words.
Politician.
Do you want to get into our rewards for Genisys and for Dark Fate?
Yeah, we're gonna do them for both.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Genisys, let's hit it first. I think we did this in the past where we did our least favorite thing, but we'll stick with our favorites. Let's try and find something. Let's, like Chris with Dark Fate, let's try and find some positives.
Yeah.
Let's get out of Luke's negative head.
Yeah, come on,
who
guys.
Only sees politics in movies made from 2016 on.
Turn off the Fox News. Not my Terminator.
It's not like Hollywood when Trump was elected immediately lost their minds. That was not a thing that
But
happened.
he wasn't elected yet. Or yes, he was. Sorry. I'm sorry, I got lost in the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was totally elected.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't want to talk.
He was
more
actually
about
about to
that.
be-
Instead, what worked in Genisys? Chris, what's your favorite scene in Genisys?
The going back to 1984, like just the recreating the first part of the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, when do I stop that scene? I don't know. I mean, you can go as far as to when there's the chase starts is when it really starts to be like its own thing.
Sure.
But yeah, like I thought that was cool, and like when they first introduced that new T-1000, like that's cool. We're gonna get the same beats. I was curious, like, did they use the same shot from 1980? Because like the truck driver, is that the
You
same?
mean the garbage truck driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
the
like
same.
It's the same guy.
It's supposed to be the same
And
basic.
did they just use that same scene, or did they find, because that guy is not gonna look the same?
I think they used the same scene.
I think so,
just
too.
Digitally put the new characters in.
Cool. That's what I thought. Very cool.
I think they were doing basically the same thing for the punks in the parking lot that the T-800
Bill
walks up on.
Paxton would not come back.
No, yeah, they couldn't get those guys to come back again. But that's like, it looks exactly the same except for digitally replaced like
Yeah, I like
actors' faces.
That's cool. So that's mine.
Yeah, for me, I was gonna say. I mean, it's right in that same part, but I like the Arnold on Arnold fight. You
That's
know,
sweet.
seeing them go at it and smashing each other, and then ultimately Amelia, Sarah Connor takes the 50 cal and
But with like the special T-800 killer bullet.
right. That thing was huge.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same as Chris. It's whatever the recreation of the Terminator that they're doing is really the only good part. I did kind of like before you realize that John Connor is bad, the kind of meeting of the three.
In
In the hospital room.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it got me a little emotionally that, like, this is the first time that these three guys at the ages that they're at are all together again.
Prove that it's you, John.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's not really because
He has the
Skynet?
memories. Because,
Yeah, he does have. Well, he is John.
He's just infected with nanotechnology. Obviously, 'cause he was touched.
obviously.
That spreads by the touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, goes through the fingers.
We all know this.
Yeah.
Common knowledge.
This is obviously, it's pretty easy to follow.
Performance of the movie.
I'll give it to Amelia Clarke.
Amelia Clarke.
Amelia Clarke.
Yeah.
The only good thing, Amelia
Really?
Clarke.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
Although
that's it.
I could see a little Arnold in here. I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
he
Yeah,
gets to be old
it
guy.
gets. It's like they go to the well one too many times with like that
Yeah.
smile,
And
or
then
where he's
she's-
like he's
they
just
love doing
oddly
that.
standing right there, right? Like it is funny, and it is, but when you do it 8 times, it just loses its luster a little bit. But I will give it. I mean, I didn't not enjoy that.
Yeah. Let's mix it up a little bit, Chris. Instead of an MVP, because we'll probably just all give it to Amelia Clarke again.
Yeah.
What is your least valuable thing about this? What is the worst part about Genisys?
Jai
Overall.
Courtney.
Jai Courtney?
Yep. I just like he's kind of a fairly big part, and I just didn't like him.
Yeah, I would say the worst for me. The worst part is taking having the ability to you had a great actor in there with J.K. Simmons and not using him
just
correctly. You just
blowing that
blow that. It could have been really good. He's such a great actor for me. I love him, and you just didn't use him.
He must be an amazing guy, too, because a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff on this, like, he was like, yeah, I read the script. They told me this part I was going to get. I thought it was really cool, and, like, I think the movie kind of turned out or whatever. And you're like, JK, this is, like, dog shit writing that they had you do. And he was, like, super pumped to be a part of Terminator.
Wanted to be part of the franchise.
He refused to say anything bad about it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he
yeah,
must
you
be a
could've
great
thrown
guy.
these guys under the bus for how bad they did you on this.
He's a company man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Matt Smith. That part is so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at the end when he's like the little AI boy too, and they're doing all that like kind of background on all that shit. Like, just find a different way to do it.
What's he known for? You said that
He's Doctor Who. That's
Oh,
his biggest thing. Is
okay.
he's the new Doctor Who.
He's also got a tie to Game of Thrones now because he's in the
He's
House
in
of Dragon.
House of Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
But his big thing is Doctor Who.
Right on.
Yeah. Which is the most gigantic piece of nerd culture that I am not a part of at all. That, like...
I don't know anything about
We can
it.
bring Cole on to talk about that. He's a Doctor Who guy.
There you go. Did I give mine? Oh, I
I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
I think-
Rating? Do the rating?
yeah. So rating for Genisys 3.8.
Let me go with a good old 3.7. I don't know. Huge, slightly lower. I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just give it a 4, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not less watchable to me than even Salvation.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's the lowest. That's all. I got to make sure it's the lowest on the totem pole for me because it is.
Well, we know you're gonna give Dark Fate an
10 out of 10.
8 at least.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Dark Fate. What is your favorite scene in Dark Fate?
The plane fight that goes into the Humvee parachute that goes into the falling down the Niagara Falls. Hell to the let's keep
I gotta ask
going.
a quick question
Yeah,
about
man.
jumping with a Humvee
That's
as the
insane.
parachute thing. Why haven't they just been doing this for all military parachuting in ever?
I don't know, but they should. It's cool. I mean, yeah.
Why would I strap the parachute on me when I could just sit in a car and parachute that thing down?
I don't know, but it was a thrill ride. I'll tell you that.
So stupid.
I was on the edge of my goddamn seat.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think for me my favorite scene was the door opening, revealing Arnold, and then going into him being stocked up in that bunker in that shed that he's got with the weapons, and some of the dialogue there was good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the chase scene that ends with Linda Hamilton showing up in the Jeep.
I'll be
and
back.
Kind of like putting a stop on it. I'll be back is
It is
terrible.
good. No, I liked that, honestly.
Of course you did.
Well, but like, because she says it, she delivers it in a different way. I don't know. It just
No,
it
she
did.
delivers it in the worst way because you're like, what are you doing? Like you're walking down as slowly as you possibly can.
liked it.
Like
Terrible.
you should probably figure out how to help these people.
It's just different strokes, different folks.
I think that chase scene is pretty cool.
It is fucking awesome.
Yeah. The splitting. When you first see the RWJK8 thing that is chasing them,
The Rev 9.
Rev 9.
Yeah.
I just refuse to call it what it actually
Oh,
is.
hell yeah, man.
When you see it split between like its
Yes!
outer form and the skeletal
Yes!
inside, I was like, all right, that's cool. And then they use that trick over and over and over, and
Wouldn't you?
beat it
Yeah,
into the ground.
I mean, I would constantly be
Hell
using
yeah.
that trick.
I can just. Yeah,
That's like when you watch any superhero movie, they've always got that one like Thor
Go-to
jumps
move.
up and he bashes and everybody dies around him. It's like, why don't you just do that over and over and over again, And this one they actually do it over and over and over again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. That's what happens. Your
Hell yeah.
performance of the movie, Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, it's Mackenzie Davis. She's the only good part
She
of the
makes
movie.
it. I think there's other people that do a fine job, but she anchors it, and she just I find her so watchable.
She's fantastic.
That you just like I mean, and you're a Station 11 guy, yeah,
Am I?
so yeah, I mean, for me, it just like that did it. That was the charm, perhaps. I think that was the charm that hypnotized me into loving Dark Fate.
You're just really into Mackenzie Davis, man.
Woo!
Yeah.
Like I'm tall.
She's a tall drink of water.
Yeah. 5'10". I looked it up.
You got the deets.
Sure did. I was like, I got her by an inch. It's good.
That'll work. That'll work. That's funny because I was just at a holiday party yesterday night with the people I work out with, and somebody was dating somebody new, and Mary and I was like, is he a little shorter than her? I don't know if that's gonna work, man.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Just had that. Just doesn't. I don't know, man.
I know. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
But there's short kings out there that need love.
Short kings need love too.
Yeah.
Freaky deakies need love too.
Yeah. Sorry to anyone listening that was offensive to me.
I
I don't know. I'm an idiot. I like Dark Fate. Don't listen to me. All right. Do we have more to talk about when it comes to this?
No, I mean,
There was the performance, the scene, and the MVP.
you want to do LVP for this movie too, or do you want to give a true shout out?
I'll do LVP for this.
Sure, go for it.
For me, gosh, what isn't there to love? It's hard for me to pick something that doesn't work. No, but I will say, I'll say Danny's character.
Natalie Reyes?
Yeah,
How dare you?
It's just
How dare you?
wooden, and it's very one note, and there's no depth to it, and it's just very much like there's not anything to it other than like it's just this one thing, and I don't care about that.
There you
So
go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I'm just gonna go with Linda Hamilton. I didn't like her performance, man.
You didn't buy it for a second.
No, I didn't, and it was great to see her back. It was great to see her back.
Awesome.
It was, but let's just be starting with the delivery of the "I'll be back" line and
back.
through. It didn't do it for me, and I wanted that nostalgia. I wanted that connection, and it wasn't there for me.
It's tough. So there was something that I wanted to bring up in connection with Linda Hamilton. Emilia Clarke wanted to play Sarah Connor and was quoted as saying that Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor is the most iconic female action character of all time. I'm like, whoa, 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 sister. Sigourney Weaver still exists.
yeah,
You're right.
And so I think I had seen that before I had started watching Dark Fate. So again, things that polluted my mind. I'm like, she better come back and give a hell of a performance in this movie if it's supposed to be this like super iconic. Because I think you can tell in the past movies, I'm not really there to see Linda Hamilton in those first two movies. Like, it's great. It's a cool character. Especially in 2, she gets to do a little bit more. Compared to the Alien movies, give me a break.
Yeah,
Sigourney
no.
Weaver wipes her off the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm
Agreed.
like, she must come back in Dark Fate and do something like really cool, really iconic, and it just did not exist.
No, for me, she's there, and I don't think she messes it up for me, but I also don't have high stakes that she's just supposed to be there.
Yeah, but she's not there just to be there. She's not there not to just to be a placeholder. She should be there to take control and do something,
She's like
special.
she's an older lady.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do? The fact that she's just like able to keep up with everyone and keep.
Jesus.
Well, literally though. I mean, she's whatever. She's tough. She's tough.
She's a tough broad.
She continues to be, and she gets those glasses on because that's kind of a nicer look.
It does help so we're not seeing the wrinkles around the eyes. It's fine.
And the people that made that movie definitely know that. And
There
they're
is
like,
one scene where I think they're in like the hotel room and she like doesn't have the glasses on. There's not like action going crazy, but she looks so old.
yeah.
She looks great. Beautiful. Unbelievable looking older lady. She looks aged in that one particular part.
Your nose just grew 3 sizes. So
I love Linda Hamilton. She,
know-
second most iconic female action hero of all time. I'm just saying, if you're gonna come for Sigourney Weaver and Alien, you better bring it. She just doesn't get it. She's just you can't
she's
have
not
it.
on that level. She's not even that great of an actor. I mean, I was looking it up because I thought like, oh, did she work? Did
No.
Linda Hamilton? But she did.
She did
She-
stuff you don't really like realize.
No, you don't know any of it. But she's consistently working between Terminator 2 between 84 and she's working. But she's just, she's not in anything that you're watching.
Yeah.
But she's doing shit.
My LVP, David S. Goyer. Oh my gosh. The writer. Actually, I should probably criticize more Billy Ray because apparently that guy did a ton of rewrites to what Goyer put together. I don't know where the heavy-handedness side of it came from based on it having 2 writers, but whoever added that bullshit in...
We need more talk, more immigration talk.
Just make...
I got it. I got what you just did there.
I
Make the
don't
movie.
think the crowd will understand.
I see what you did there.
I've said too much already. Just make the movie.
Yeah,
Just make it.
make it.
Not everything has to be political, man. Just
Doesn't
write
have
it.
to be political. Man.
do it.
It's true.
Do whatever needs to be done.
So this is signing us off.
We haven't given a rating.
Rate it.
Terminator, Dark Fate. Did I move AVP down to the 1 level?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
This is definitely better than AVP.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, AVP is really, really
Starting to
bad.
understand.
But this is not better than AVP Requiem.
Ooh.
Actually, it probably is. What did I give? 3.8. I'll go 3.3 for this. Dark Fate, 3.3.
Paul.
Gosh, yeah, let's go 3.8.
All right,
Wow.
gentlemen. All right. I'll see your 3s, and I'm going to do a nice little 5.9.
Woo!
And you know what? I might change it to a 6 because here's the thing. And I know, but this is what I was truly thinking in my head after. For me, this better than Salvation, better than Genisys. We're done. That's a foregone conclusion. I'm thinking, what's better, this one or T3? And let me tell you, I won't spoil it, but you know what? At this point in time, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I like T3 better than that.
T3 is so much more fun.
Exactly.
Man,
We laughed a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, you, maybe not to you, but
we were all watching it together.
I get it. But you seem to have really liked Dark
Yeah,
Fate.
if you guys were with me, if you were with me Friday night in front of the Christmas tree, just like oohing and eyeing at all the, whoa, God, are they gonna really go down that thing? Whoa, my God,
They don't need you for you. They need you for
Your womb.
womb.
That's right.
And Chris is like, yeah, man.
I said, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Me too.
That's right. No, but wait, not that way. All right, so next time we're gonna do a little.
Gosh, we
Terminator.
should have had a female co-host on this just to
Yeah.
really shield us.
Yeah, really.
Yep.
Well,
For the record, I love Dark Fate.
for the record, I don't like Dark Fate just because I think that we should be less misogynistic in more subtle ways.
I love women.
Me too.
Whatever.
All right, on that, we'll be back. We'll be back next time with a Terminator wrap-up show. But until then, be mindful of your social justice. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Franchise.